Hello everyone, this is Jose Loza, or Jose for short. Today, wait, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. What I'm gonna be doing today is talking about my funny little not alternative universe, actually, more the rewrite of the show Monsters at Work. The main reason why I want to rewrite this show entirely is because of season two and a little bit of season one. The more I think about it, because low key, it wasn't that good. Like, obviously, a lot of people agree, but like, it genuinely isn't that well written of a story because it feels like it's obviously a cash grab, but it feels too much of a cash grab, and it's kind of sad because the plot, the concept of a monster like Tyler, and by the way, I will be drawing Tyler right now. It feels like there was so much potential for like a character like him to be like for like this story in general because it feels like there was like so much to like work with in terms of like Tyler's character because it feels like genuinely there was like his character in general is kind of a butt cheek in both season one and two, and I feel like there could have been more. Like the main thing I want to rewrite about him is his dream in general. Like in the story, basically he always wanted to be a scarer, but then when he realizes that when scarers are no more in Monsters Inc., he's like, oh well, my only chance to being on the scare floor is or joke floor or laugh floor, whatever it's laugh floor, is to be a jokester. It feels kind of sad because it's like okay, but all your life you wanted to be a scarer, and now you're gonna change that like dream just so you can be on the scare floor. It feels like low key. That is the wrong thing. How do I don't know how to use Clip Studio Paint. If you could tell, it just feels kind of sad because like it feels like they just like he just changed his like dream just so he can like still like it's like there's like no. I'm sorry. I'm trying to turn this stupid thing. How do I turn it? No. So it feels like yeah, there was this was sad. It was sad to see this happen. So in in this rewrite that I'm sorry, I have no script, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might as well just record myself drawing, but I feel like it's better to like talk while I draw. So I'm like redrawing a redesign I made of him. So first thing about this um rewrite of the story is that Tyler actually doesn't want to be a scarer. I didn't think about this when I first started like redesigning him because like I didn't really think about it that much. But now that I think about it, it probably would make the story so much better and make more sense and get rid of any plot holes because if he doesn't want to be a scarer in the first place, it makes more sense of like for him to be a jokester because hey, doesn't have to like deal with this shit. Oh, and as for the broken horn, I'll get to that in like in a moment. It's important to the story. There are spoilers to the story in this to the show. Anyways, so he won't actually want to be a scarer. The only reason he became like aimed for this goal is mainly because of everyone telling him, "Oh, you're so scary. You would be an amazing scarer." He's like, "Oh, well, I guess I can be a scarer if everyone's saying it. I guess I should." So he like works all his life to like be this guy that everyone like tells him that he should be, and he finally achieves it. And when he's like at college, he's taking his exam. Everyone's like there's people watching. He's like, wow. He has like this very scary roar that he emits. Um, Professor Knight's like, oh wow, you're amazing. It's like, oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah, thank you. I guess. I've always been told I'm great. And at the beginning, you can already tell that he's not very into this whole like scare thing. He's like, yeah, yeah. He's like, oh, you must be excited to become a scarer. He's like, yeah, 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 sure. If I become, he's like, yeah, you'll be an amazing scarer. He's like, oh yeah, if I become a scarer, that is. He's like, nah, when? He gets the letter and it's like, oh, wait, oh, I'm a scarer now. Or well, I've been offered a job at Monsters Inc. It's not like they immediately hired him because he didn't really consent to that. It's more of a oh they like basically Professor Knight told them about Tylor, and they like, oh, we want to hire him. What the fuck was that crab guy's name? The crab guy. He's like, oh, I would love to have Tyler here. It's like months before, and they're like waiting for like when he graduates so they can like have him like work there. So he's not graduated yet, but like basically it's like, oh yeah, you have a job opportunity. So it's like, oh, actually, it's like and like Professor Knight's like, "Oh, aren't you excited?" He's like, "Oh no, yes, I am excited." Haha. He's like, "Ah, you're gonna be an amazing scare." He's like smiling, like, yeah." Uh, the reason why I redesigned Tyler is because he Loki does not look scary at all in the show. I'm sorry, like he does not look scary. He looks kind of mediocre. So I redesigned him to be more scarier, which makes it even more fitting as to why like it feels so impossible for him to be a jokester because he's too terrifying. He looks horrendous. This is Spikes. He has like little rattles or something. I'm giving like little characteristics for him to like work with, so then it's like yeah. He also has like a. I'll probably flash a picture on screen of like what I'm talking about, so like for reference as like I'm drawing this. But basically, he has this like he'll have like an animalistic form that he used during college and like his time growing up to look horrifying. These scars are references to like moments in the show that I feel like he should have gotten an injury because yeah he did not survive that. There was no way. Make him buff because Loki buff monsters. I might make him a little heavier. Who knows? So like some months later, he finally goes to Monsters Inc. He's like, hey, I'm here for the job I've been offered. A letter finally graduated, and then like the whole like little scene starts. He like when he's outside, he's just like standing there, and he's like, "This is what mom and dad wanted. This is what mom and dad wanted." Like he knew about his grandfather, like his grandfather when he was alive. He's like, "Oh, you'll be a great scatter son. I know you'll do well." And like he's like, "Oh, I won't let you down, Grandpa." And he's a little kid, but as like a little kid, he's like, "I want to be scared though. I don't want to disappoint my grandfather though, because it was his dying wish." So sorry, I'm making him a little fat. Every scary monster is a little fat, guys. Anyways, She gets in and he's like told, "Oh, you have to go see this person. I'm not. I'm a floor supervisor." La la la. Celia still does get her like promotion, but like the scene's gonna be played off better. It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I was like, "Oh, how may I help you?" Excuse me. I'm currently in the middle of a transfer from job to job, but I'll still talk to you. He's like, "Oh yeah, so I've been offered a job months back." So, and I was like wondering where do I go to like just get started? Do I have to go through an orientation or something? It was like, "Oh, we don't do scarers anymore. We're jokes." I was like, "Wait, what?" And she kind of leaves because she's like in a rush to get to like her new position. It's like, "Huh, where do I go?" He's like asking, "Hey, do you know who this person is? Need to talk to them about something." Yeah, that scene kind of plays out the same. Like, there's some things that are gonna be similar, but like they're like still kind of like different. Oh, and by the way, these like little pattern like on his arms, they will glow, so he kind of has like a glowing effect to his body. So he goes, he finds whatever her name is, the lady, the lady from like who's apparently a mom. She's a single mother with no husband, so she fucking left his ass or something. Either that, or he's just not present. Either he's not present in the child's life, or he's somewhere else, or he's dead. Anyways, he goes to see her. He's like, "Oh yeah, I like, who are you? You're not on my roster." He's like, "Oh yeah." She like turns around and he's like, "Oh goodness, oh, who are you?" She gets a little scared because like obviously he's scary. He's like a rough like exterior. He's like, "Oh, sorry, excuse me. Who are you? I don't remember seeing you in here. You're not on my roster." It's like, "Oh, I'm Tyler Tuskman. I'm here for a I'm here because I've been offered a job as a scarer. I'm wondering what do I do? Do I have to go do an evaluation?" It's like, we don't do jokesters anymore, but we don't do scares anymore, but like blah blah blah. Same scene, but like written differently. It's like worded differently. This show, not a comedy. It's more serious, just like the movies. Like there is comedic moments, but I feel like it has to have like that still underlining moment where he's like, "Oh, I've always been scared." I want something in like this. I'm just gonna stop explaining the first episode. Basically, he the basic concept is that he's a scary monster who's trying to become a jokester because that's what he wants. That's what he actually has been looking for. He's always wondering what it is he want to be, if not a scarer, and he finally finds it, and he's now trying to achieve it, despite looking scary. He's used to being scary, so it's hard for him to like accept this change in his life despite wanting it, because like he wants to be a scarer. And by the way, his tail rattles. He has a rattling tail. I guess his mom's half snake or something. I don't know. So he has a tail that rattles. That tail is like long, like Sully's tail, I guess. Hmm. No, maybe not. I'm trying to stick to canon as possible. Maybe I'll add my own funny little details to him. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, look, it's Tyler. Funny little critter. I'm gonna draw his full body right to the side. Oh yeah, his animalistic form. I should also probably draw that. And for season one is basically his journey. I'll probably like eliminate some episodes. Like for example, I'll probably get rid of that one episode, the bowling alley episode, not bowling, the bowling episode where they had the bowl-off-a-thon. Getting rid of that. That one was stupid. I don't know why they had that. And the baseball episode where the baby was in the human world because they had to repair the room. I'm instead gonna not have Mike and Sully have that moment because this show is about Tyler, not them. They had their moment. I also rewrite them a little bit in the show because it feels like they're too something. Some like detail about them is exaggerated. I feel like Sully should still have that like lingering feeling of a monster in him. I mean, scarer in him. He's like, oh, I want to change, but it's like sometimes it's hard to like think about that. Like it's change is hard, especially for someone who's been doing this for years. It must be hard for you. Like there's like that moment to relate to because Tyler is also having a hard time changing because he's always been like scary and shit. Anyway, so gonna have it instead be Tyler and Val who are having to take care of the baby despite no, hold on. I'll have to rewrite the episode a little bit. Maybe they're not like they have to fix the room, but because like he's like oh your first repair job, and as like they're repairing, the baby's still in there, and like he has to like I don't know. I'll have some of the Mifters be in the room, but then like Tyler and Val are like nearby taking care of the baby to ensure it doesn't wake up, and as Tyler's taking care of the child, gets in an argument with Val or something, then like as like you know what? Age up the baby. The baby is a little toddler because I can't fucking. I get it. The baby's like, oh, baby, cute little laughter, best giggler. Anyways, it's a little toddler. The little toddler wakes up, sees them working. He's like, wow, you're a monster. Are you a what do they call it? A jokester? And he's like, no, we're repairmen. One of your jokesters broke the door. Yeah, that's how I'll probably have the episode play out, and like the kids talking with like Tyler, and Tyler's like, yeah, yeah. And I'll just rewrite the whole episode, but like basically Tyler learns about how this kid's maybe similar to him, or he like learns about the fact that okay, he and Val, there's still gonna be that plot line, except they're gonna actually be close friends from middle school. They were really close friends, and maybe they didn't go to the same college, but they were really close friends. But then Val moved away, or Tyler moved away for a better opportunity at a better school. So Val was like kind of left alone because like Tyler was her only friend. So like when she sees him again, he's like, "Oh, we were," because that whole plot line of her just like, "Oh my god, we were kind of like friends in college, except we didn't really talk to each other, but like, we knew each other in college, kind of." Seems kind of sad. Doesn't make sense. I feel like Tyler got way too like, oh, he felt bad for like nothing. It's like they really weren't friends. He talked to her once, so rewriting that to where they were actually friends, but in middle school. So it's like, oh, they've been friends, not even maybe middle school, maybe elementary school, and it went into middle school, but then it died down around high school because maybe Tyler moved away, or Val. I'll probably have it where Val moved away. Tyler moved away. That makes more sense. He moved away for a better opportunity, so like he could become a scarer for sure. And ever since then, like Val's gonna kind of like, hold on, I need a new frame for this. Kind of left alone. And then when she sees him again, like she's like, "Oh my goodness, we knew each other. We were best friends in elementary back when we were younger." He's like, "Do I know you?" He's like, "It's me, Valerie Little. You don't remember me?" And he's like squinting real hard. He's like, wait, I think I do recognize you, Valerie. Wow, it's been a while. Geez, I haven't seen you since middle school. It's been quite a bit. I'm gonna age them up a little. Maybe they're like 25 in this. So the character's like 25, so it like makes more sense because I feel like being a scarer takes a lot more than just being scary. So like obviously there's like unless it's like a year type job, which I guess would be fair. He's like, oh, what have you been doing ever since I left? She's like, oh, I tried to make more friends, but like I never really got that clicked. It's like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. We should really catch up. He's like, oh, I guess. It's like, oh, we both work in Myth. Monsters Inc. facility team. Come on, let's go. Talked to him and he's like, oh wait, that's a scare floor. It's like, oh, it's a joke floor. He's like, joke? She basically explains because like he still didn't really understand the concept. He did learn about it. He was just like seriously, what's with the whole joke stuff? It's like yeah. Basically, something happened and now we're joke power, and we vibing. He's like a jokester, like a clown. She's like, yeah, something like that, but so he's like really thinking about the concept of scare. He's like, well, I'm happy to not be doing a scarer, but like as he learns about a jokester, he's like starting to like really understand. This sounds kind of nice. Sounds like something I would enjoy. So she introduces him to the Myth team. I'm probably not gonna redesign them. Really, there was nothing wrong with their designs. It was mainly Tylor that needed to be redesigned because he's supposed to be a monster. Let me remind you. I mean, a scarer. He wanted to be a scarer, so give him that. Season 2 will be a journey for him. I can't wait to like talk about that. So that's kind of like how I want to rewrite Monsters Inc. or Monsters at Work. I just wanted to make it like make more sense, be more interesting, and overall make it about Tylor. Season 1, him learning, him like achieving that dream of wanting what he always wanted, something that he could want, something that he could control. Him learning to let go of something that he was forced into, and finally getting what he feels like is best for him. So that's what season one's basically going to be about, and season two will probably be some like somewhat the same, except it's not like him complaining or like contemplating, should I be a jokester or a scarer or something that I always wanted to be. No, it's gonna be like him like having to fight these like animalistic urges because again he has a more animalistic side to his mind because he can't get on gets on all fours and that's how he like his whole joke thing kind of like registered in his mind. Season two, basically, John's like, wow, Johnny Worthington. Johnny's like, he's a really scary guy. I need him. Like, he sees him on, like, the front cover of a magazine. He's like, this guy looks scary. How is this a jokester? It's like, Tyler finally achieves his goal. Because, like, maybe, like, his, like, the kid, he's like, a kid he, like, makes laugh. When he finally gets to be a jokester, first kid he meets, it's like a little scared, but then as, like, he, like, looks at, like, Tyler, he's like, wait, you're missing your horn. Oh yeah, my horn. Yeah, I get it. It's scary. It's broken. I don't know what I was like. No, it's like me. Maybe the kid has. Say maybe the kid has like a scar burn on his like the side of his face. Like, oh, I'm missing an ear. As you see, some people say I'm a freak. And Johnny's like, not Johnny. What the fuck is his name? Tyler's like, oh really? It's like, why don't we talk about it? And as he's talking, he's like bonding with his kid because they both have like missing parts, and he genuinely has a great time with the kid. He's like, wow, this kid's really great. If you're hearing background noises, I'm so sorry. Anyways, so he makes the kid laugh, and then he leaves. It's like farewell. Finally gets, he's like, wow, this is really nice. That made me feel great. So it's kind of like Val's approach with kids, being slow and doing like her own pace, except I'm applying that to Tyler. He's like talking to these kids, learning about them. I didn't like how he didn't know who Ben was, despite I don't know. Why was he venting to a kid? That was kind of depressing. I didn't like the whole his joke getting old, so he had to like he was contemplating being a jokester. I mean, a scarer. No. Anyways, Tyler finally achieves his goal. He's a jokester and he's happy. Maybe I'll rewrite the finale. That didn't make sense. There's some episodes I'll have to rewrite, but that's season one, and I'm gonna briefly talk about season two. That might be something I'll work on another time when I'm drawing Tyler again. Season two is basically Tyler's like journey of like mental health therapy. Like maybe he's like struggling because he accidentally scared a kid and felt horrible about it. And no, he did not return that like he didn't put the can he didn't put the can with like the other cans. Instead he actually was like, okay, I need to get rid of this. This is awful for me. He has like a little mental like small mental like questioning. He's like, oh god, did I accidentally scared a kid? And he's like, I have to go apologize. But he's too scared to confront because he's worried of, well, obviously, he's worried he'll like scare the kid again. He didn't mean to. Again, it's like the donut thing and why he even had the can be like that. Some point he meets Johnny. Johnny at like the football game. He goes to the football. I was like, oh, I know you like. Oh, season two. Like it begins with like the school thing. He's like, oh, let's go to the school. The meetup, and they invited him because he's getting really popular. He was like the greatest student. It's like, oh, this is one of our recent kid students who like left. He's now a great scarer. He's like, oh, I'm actually a jokester. And he talks about, hey, I never wanted to be a scarer. I always wanted something else. I just never knew what. I was put in this position. He opens his heart, explaining his story. But people make fun of him. He's like, and when like some person's like, ah, you're a fucking loser, he like scares them because he gets angry because I'm gonna give him fucking anger issues because again more potential to be a scarer. And then like when he sees what he did, he's like, oh god, I scared someone. Oops. So he like walks away in frustration, which makes him more of a laughing stock because okay, you're scary and you don't want to be a scarer. You want to be a jokester. What a fucking loser. That's how season episode one kind of plays out. And he's like, great. I'll laugh and joke, and yet everyone's too afraid to approach me because I'm scary. Something like that. Anyway, sorry, I got carried away. And the second episode is the creep show. Gonna rewrite that a little bit. They won't get a tiny little booth. They'll get a decently sized booth, but like Tyler's like really down. Anyways, So he's like kind of like lamenting about like how he scared someone, and yet despite being scary, everyone's making him a joke. So he's like, I don't know, I'm confused. Like I'm scary, but I want to be funny. I don't want to be scary. I want to be lovable. He's like really trying hard to like disassociate himself, like not disassociate, like separate himself from like the from like what he's been known all his life. He doesn't want to be scary, but like every time he tries not to be scary, he ends up being scary, and he regrets it heavily. And yeah, I guess episode two. I should probably make a different video of like explaining each episode. But basic summary is that season two is him going on like a mental thing, like discovering that he's more than what he is. He can learn to like overcome his like mental struggle, because like that like one episode, season episode 10 or whatever it was. No, it was episode 9. He had a fucking mental breakdown. Like he had a panic attack. He had an anxiety attack because he like realized what he did. That would have been perfect, but I feel like they should have executed it so much better. I feel like that would have been a perfect example of an anxiety attack. I want to have that so badly. Like when he's like he's a scare like everyone wanted him to be. He feels uncomfortable. He's like, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. Anyways, like it's hard to explain, but like when he scares the kid, he accidentally gets a room. He's like, all right, I'll prove to you I'm not the jokester anymore. I'm doing what I'm meant to do. Opens the door, and it's the kid who he related to. That same kid would be the kid, aka Ben. I guess we're gonna rewrite him a little bit. But it's like, oh, hey, Tyler. Hey, I'm sorry I didn't really. He's like, hey, man. Oh, I'm kind of sorry I didn't. I kind of dismissed you that one time. I really didn't mean to. I kind of missed you. We're kind of friends. We're like friends, you know? There's a song I learned, you know? There's a song. I keep saying, you know, I'm sorry. I learned a song. Tyler's like panicking because like he can't scare this kid. They're like forcing him. He's like anger takes over and he scares Ben. Poor kid. But then he sees himself in like a reflection and he realizes, oh my god, that's what I'm supposed to be. He like panics because he scared the one kid that he related to because of his like injury. I wouldn't say disability. Maybe it is a disability, like, considering the horn. Like maybe it's here. Oh, his horn. Maybe I'm not sure. He's like panicking. He's like, oh my god. Like, yeah, the can is full. The can is full. They had no regard as to like how he felt. Like okay, so the girl, whatever her name is, the snake girl, snake character. I want her to like be the one who notices like Tyler's like internal struggle. So she sees him like panicking, like she's at first mad at him, but when she sees him like staring off into the distance as he's like breathing heavily while everyone else is crowding him, she's like, oh wait, is he okay? And then he runs off, and she actually goes to see him like, hey, are you alright? And he's like, well, yes, I'm fine. Did you want? She finally asks a question. Do you want to be a scarer? He's like, I don't know. I never wanted to be a scarer, but I made myself be a scarer all my life. But then I finally got the opportunity of a lifetime to be something that I feel like is better for me. But then I lost that, so now I have to go back to this whole like scaring business because that's what I'm supposed to be. She's like, yeah, but it's not what you want to be, is it? Joy, her name's Joy, so she's like giving him this therapy. She's like, hey, you know what? I never wanted to be a scarer either. They have something to relate to. It's not supposed to be shippy. It's supposed to be like, oh, learn making new friends or places like, you know. I always wanted to be scared, but the moment I finally got it, I don't know if maybe this is what I want. She's like, maybe this isn't right for me. Sometimes our bodies make us look. Sometimes we're born in a body that looks like it's meant for one thing, but we want to be something else. Maybe it could be symbolism for like transgender people. Maybe I don't know. That's up to you to decide. Anyways, I would love to talk about this more, but I have 35 minutes of content that I feel like is it necessary? I've been kind of sitting here, you've been staring at me draw. Anyways, I'm probably gonna cut the video here. It was nice to talk about this alternative, not alternative universe, this rewrite that I so badly want to make. Let me know if you guys ever want to see like comics on this. I would love to work on it more because I genuinely love like this new Tyler. He feels so much better. I would love to steal this design for an OC, but I can't. So we'll stick to the alternative universe. Anyways, bye.